What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Pixel Pulse, where our gaming backlog is legally considered a library. This is episode 8. My name is Justin Muslimi, and with me, as always, is my good friend Kyle Olson. Kyle, how are you today, man?
We're recording this on a Friday, and thank goodness it's Friday, man. Happy Friday. We're good.
Happy Friday. Yeah, we're recording on Friday. Usually it's Wednesdays, and we upload Friday, but we had some things going on this week with in our personal lives that where we couldn't make it happen on Wednesday, unfortunately. But we're gonna get it done anyway, in every way that we can. So here we are, guys. Kyle, you doing good, man?
I'm doing good. I've said this before. I work as a product manager, and product managers they have backlogs at work, and I have a backlog of games, and I have a backlog at work, and I'm backlogged all over the place. It's like you just can't escape the backlog.
It's just the backlog nightmare.
It
Just
just
it
grows.
just haunts
Like
you.
at work I've got my backlog, and then I'm like, okay, when am I going to go play? Let's go look at something in my backlog to play, and then it's just like, oh.
Oh, dude, and it keeps expanding. Like, dude, so just today, a buddy of mine was talking about Slay the Spire 2 because that just came out in early access, and I'm like, yeah, at some point I'm gonna have to probably play the first game. And he goes, poof, I just gifted it to you on Steam, and I'm like, oh, dude, so that's one more I'm gonna have to make time for at some point in my gaming life. Thanks
Like,
for that.
thanks for contributing to my backlog. Yes.
Yeah, man. Like it's just never. Yeah, it's I'm. I don't know, man. Being a game at some point when you're a gamer and you're an adult that has a life, family, mortgage, all that, you're just gonna have to kind of make peace with the fact that you're not going to be able to play every game that you want to play. Like you're gonna have to
Yeah.
just come to terms with that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and it's tough because I'm like, I was thinking about it just today. I'm like, oh my God, there's going to be games that I really, really want to play that I'll never play
Mm-hmm. No, you're
just because
right.
of time,
There,
you
there's
know?
there's so many games that I sometimes I just watch a YouTube video on it because I just don't have time to go through and play it myself, and I'd rather experience it via like somebody else playing it on YouTube and walking me through it, like the
See,
highlights.
yeah, I've thought about that, Kyle, but again, I'm like, man, well, but maybe one day, maybe I'll get to it one day.
Yeah.
So then I don't watch it because I'm going to play this someday, whether I'm in the nursing home at 80 and they let me bring my gaming setup there.
Dude, by then it's gonna be like a hologram, right? Like you'll just bring this cube and you'll set it on your table, and it'll just pop up, and then you're like immersed in this
I mean,
hologram.
that's cool. I would settle for that. If I can like play any game that I wanted on this little cube thing, anything from like my backlog or like the retro days from when I grew up, I'd be game for that. Let me play it for sure, man.
Yeah,
But
no, that'd be fun. I tried once to actually organize my backlog into folders on the PlayStation, and I did successfully create folders. And what that did to me was it just made me realize that I just have way more games than I can ever play. So
yeah,
it just reinforced what I already do.
you're right. Yeah, man. It's just the never-ending battle. But
Nature of the beast.
that's just it's how we choose to live our life. But anyways, Kyle, it's good to be here with you. It's good to be here with all of you as well, who's ever listening slash watching. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. There comes some consequences with recording on Friday, Kyle. We we gathered a couple more news stories for the show today. So
We
we'll,
did.
we'll we'll move through them quickly though.
But
Some don't
on the
need a
bright
whole.
side, though, is we figured out your microphone. For those
Yeah,
of you who
yeah.
haven't listened to the last one, we didn't realize that Justin's microphone wasn't working until he
Until I
tried to mute
coughed.
himself. Yeah, he was like, I have to cough. Clicks the mute button and then coughs, and it like picked it up in the computer microphone. And so by prolonging this podcast to today, we've been able to figure out our audio issues.
We had, oh yeah, dude. Like when we like went to edit it, and by the way, I have to do this, man. I have to give a huge shout out to my wife. Like she's the reason why these videos make it onto the internet. period.
Yes.
So yeah, I wanted to thank you, hun, for that. So yeah, but I'm watching her as she does it. So I did some. I was able to do a part of it last time. So I'm just not very tech savvy, but she is, thankfully, at least one of us in this marriage is. But
Well, you
yeah.
sound nice today.
So hey, well, thank you, man. I, I appreciate that. But yeah, we got some news stories here. But before that, before we dive into the news stories, Kyle, you were saying, and I agreed with you, we should probably talk about our impressions of Marathon because they had the Server Slam just this last weekend. Last weekend, yeah, where we both participated, Kyle. And yeah, I have some thoughts. I know you do too. I'd like to talk about it. I think maybe I'll go first. I downloaded it, I got home, and then I remember playing. I booted it up, and first thing I noticed is, of course, the aesthetic. Like I've said it before, but the art style they're using in Marathon is beautiful. I love the graphical style. It's very colorful. Like the colors really pop in this game. They're very bright. They stand out really well. So aesthetically, the game looks, I think, really really good. The map is cool. There's weather effects. It rains, which looks really nice. They let you play as most of the shells, aka classes, what they call classes in this game, except one being the thief. I tried out the triage, who is the, quote unquote, the healer
Yep.
out of them. So I like that. I didn't really understand my skills for most of the time.
I
Uh,
disagree with that, okay? Because we got into a room pinned down by other players who followed us in there, and like it was like a closet, okay? Like there were three of us in this closet type room. I got knocked. A random player that we were with got knocked. Justin's in the corner. They don't see him in the corner,
oh
and they
yeah.
assume that they've knocked everybody. And he gets us up, and like he uses his skills and resurrects us like this, and we kill the team and we take their stuff, and then we move on our merry way to exfil. So I would
Yes,
say
that was
that
okay.
Justin
That
actually
was
knew how to use his skills.
That was okay, right? But that was I'm talking at first, Kyle. That was after I had a few matches in me. So
Oh,
yes,
okay, okay.
I did figure it out. But I'm saying like at first though, it did take me a while to cut me some slack, man. Come on.
Yeah, no, I'm saying it was good. Like that was
It
great
was
because I was
cool,
sitting there, like I'm down behind the cabinet, and as they're kind of coming in, they're just kind of messing around. They didn't realize a third person was in there,
right?
and we
They
took
didn't
them
look
back.
towards my direction. I'm crouched I'm in the corner. They come in, didn't even look my way. So
No.
I just blast them right in the back. I just shoot them. I think I killed the other guy to the right. And then yeah, I used my one skill where it's an insta revive. I used it on one and then I revived the other one. So that
Like
was
so.
pretty cool.
Anyways, I start blasting.
Yeah,
That
I
means
just start blasting. Oh, it was
that
cool,
that
man.
was
It
that
was
was
a
my
cool moment.
favorite moment from the whole beta because I have a slightly different take on
Mine
it,
too.
but that one that was my favorite moment because it was like
Mine too.
it like we had sweaty players come in and I don't know if they've been stalking us or if they could hear our voices because we were chatting with each other or what, but I thought we were done and we're gonna lose all of our stuff, and then Justin saved us. But like I liked the art style. I felt like the art style was actually pretty cool. um, Sometimes it feels a little bit too much. Like there's sometimes things that are a little bit too like hyper colored, and I feel like it distracts from maybe the game just a little bit. But otherwise, I do actually like the art
Sure.
style. I feel like it's pretty unique. Um, I liked the gunplay as well. The time to kill is way fast. Like even the
It
AI
is quick.
computer players, like I thought I had shields up and stuff, and I was knocked almost immediately. And so having a medic or a medic like shell on the team was really helpful. I didn't have a super great experience with the beta though, because for me my biggest complaint wasn't the gameplay, it was the menus and the
Mm-hmm.
amount of loot that there is possible with the lack of storage space I have in my backpack. And like I can tell what guns to pick up because the guns are color coded, like just like normal loot is in any type of game. Like orange is like really fancy, green is just like common loot, blue is rare, stuff like that. Like it's color coded.
Yeah.
But if I'm picking up stuff that I'm gonna sell later, like how do I know what I'm picking up?
Yeah, that's the only part that is really like so the game is fun. I think the UI and the menus is kind of a mess right now.
It's probably the worst UI that I have seen in a video game in a very very long time, and I'm including Call of Duty's latest garbage in that list. Like
Yeah.
there are menus on menus, and the navigation just does. It probably works with a mouse and keyboard. It does not work with the controller. Like I ended up in a menu looking at guns. I had no idea how I got there, or how to get back. Like it's just
Yeah.
really
And
unintuitive.
and to be clear, I'm talking about I don't know about you, Kyle, but speaking for me, I'm not talking about like while you're in game, like like in battle. I think the UI for
Right.
that is fine. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's fine.
but like getting ready, like preparing to go, and you're trying to get like you're trying to look at your contracts, Like I remember for the longest time, I was like, how do I get to my contracts? I couldn't figure that out, or how to like pick a
Or how do you
faction.
complete a contract? Like it's not intuitive
Right.
there either.
No, it's really not. I wish it was more specific. So one gripe I do have too is the contracts. They don't really they'll say like go to this part on the map, and it'll say something like hack the UESC. I can't remember the acronym, but
Yeah.
hack their terminal. And I'm like, okay, well I don't know, I don't know where's that. Let's
Break
say go to
20 panes of glass.
Right. Yeah, that's if you have the one faction, because the fact that one faction is all about destruction and chaos. Mida, I think it is, which I haven't tried that one yet. But yeah, I wish I wish your objective was a little bit more clear on like what you like where you should go, what you should do. But that's just that's me being used to this, I guess, this hand holding culture. That's kind of been
Hmm.
thrust upon us. I'm just kind of used to
I can
that.
see that.
So now when I don't get that, I complain.
You're
You
like,
know,
which way am I going? Like,
yeah, give me. I want an
I
actual hand pointing me. No,
see. I actually thought that the missions were pretty clear because like it tells you to go to a certain spot on the map. So like I pulled into resolve something. So like one it was like go to this corrupted building and do an upload or something, or like get the key card, whatever it is. And so like you look at the map and you see okay it's in this zone, but it doesn't tell you exactly what building it is, but you have a description of it. So you mark the map zone and you head that way, and then you look for the building that looks like the description that you have. So I actually thought that that was pretty intuitive. But my biggest complaint was honestly the menus and the UI outside of the combat. I just could not navigate it in any way, shape, or form. And I do menus and UI and UX like for a living. Like it was just I
yeah,
don't
that's
know
true.
who approved this crap, but like it's some of the nastiest menu navigation that I've ever seen in my life, and I've seen some stuff.
Well, it's funny. A guy at work that I work with, he's super into the game, and he bought it and everything. And he goes, I like it. I like the menus and the UI. I think it's very pretty clear as day. But he also was a huge player of like Destiny 2, and I thought Destiny 2 had a horrible UI menu system as well. So I guess that makes sense why he's just used to it, is what it is. And I
I
will get to
guess, yeah.
yeah, and I figure, and that's what I'll get into next. Is I ended up buying the game, so I did buy the game, because I did like it despite some of my gripes. The menus and the UI, I figured I'll get used to that, and I will, eventually.
I think
And
they're gonna
then
make some changes to it though. They have to,
they
right?
probably will, Kyle, because I looked online. That's actually a kind of a big complaint I've been seeing
Even Jack
is the
Frags
UI.
called it out, and Bungie sponsored his latest video. So Bungie sponsored his latest video, and his only complaint was like he's like the UI is not great. It's
Not
a
yeah,
little bit messy. I think he
clunky.
was
Yeah,
gentle, obviously, because the video was literally sponsored by Bungie. But I'm glad he
yeah,
said that too because it just is like if the gameplay is fun. I had a lot of fun playing with you, but the frustrating part for me was like you go and you open up a loot box and you're like, okay, I've got 8 slots. What do I take? And I guess
Yeah,
that's the point, right? Like they want you to sit there and stare at the loot box because you have to either decide to take things quickly or know what to take, and you need to like make a decision. Am I going to sit here and investigate every item in the loot box, or am I going to get out quickly because I don't want to get killed by another team coming up to us?
right.
So I can understand that aspect of it.
And I noticed like you'll come across like it'll say like an empty shield charge or an empty health, whatever, and I'm like, well, do I take that?
Yeah,
You
what's that
know,
for?
yeah,
Did
but
you
I
figure it
didn't
out?
notice if it said. I did figure out though. Some items or a lot of items will say like it'll say purpose and it'll say auto sells at like when you extract. It'll tell you if it's just gonna give you auto credits for that. So some items you'll pick up just to get the credits. Well, assuming you
But
extract.
like, do you want the credits, or is there something else that you can get that's better? Like, should you extract with a key card or a weapon, or like
Yeah, that I don't see. That's where too. I want clarification. I'm gonna have to look it up or do some research because I'll grab a key card and he'll kind of do like a little thing with it. He'll hold it and it'll kind of like do a little animation, and I'm like, well, what does that do?
yeah?
I'm not really sure. So some clarification on that part would be good. But yeah, no, I bought it, and since I bought it, I've been having a way better time, and I've had way better luck. I haven't been dying as much because I died a lot in that server slam. Uh, so it's getting better. I'm liking it a lot. So Kyle, I do if you do decide to get it, it would be fun to play some rounds with you here.
I'm gonna have to now because you've
Because I
got
got it and Drew got it.
right, exactly, and so we've got a full squad. My only other complaint, and then I'll talk about good stuff
Yeah.
from it. But my only other complaint is, well, two things really. One, I don't know if I'm feeling the story as much. Like, extraction shooter with no campaign, the story isn't really doing it for me. I can understand the lore and everything, but every time I open up a contract, I don't want like a new story. I kind of just want to get to like the fun stuff, which is playing the game and
I
having fun
agree.
with my buddies. So
Yeah.
that's one. It's not a huge deal. You can skip it. But
Right.
the other thing is extraction. I I like that there's different kinds of extractions. Like you have the hard mode extraction where they drop ship
Where it's
comes and
guarded.
drops off.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They drop off enemies and then you all die and you can't extract because they dropped off a bunch of hard enemies. You went hard mode and you suck, obviously, and then nobody extracts. But I do think that I don't like the teleportation style of extraction. I actually really like the extraction styles where something comes and gets you and like you extract, not
Like Helldivers.
teleportation. Right, like Helldivers or other extraction shooters where like, a shuttle will come in and pick you up and like you right away. I'm just I'm not feeling the whole like you press a button, you teleport into the
Yeah, I guess it's because they're going for more for that sci-fi. Like a ship is beaming you up there or whatever.
Dude, even then, like if we're getting beamed up, like beam us up with a little bit less like blurriness and dizziness, and then show where we end up. Like do
Yeah.
something that just doesn't beam us up into nothing. So that to me is another gripe because you're gonna play like lots of games, you're gonna extract lots of times. That's something you're gonna see as part of every single thing. Like you want that extraction to feel like an extraction and not just like you just got teleported off the map. Like why couldn't we just teleport from somewhere else? You know what I mean? Like Star Trek style.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I can get behind that, man.
So that's it. That's a minor gripe, but I liked the gunplay a lot actually. I thought the gunplay felt really nice, and time to kill was a little bit fast, but I also kind of suck at shooter games these days, so it could just be user error.
Kyle. You're telling me. I've been out of the multiplayer game for a long time. I was telling someone today that the last multiplayer game that I like really got into was like the original factions for The Last of Us, like back in 2013.
Oh wow!
And
Long
yeah,
time ago.
yeah, that was the last time, man. I'm not a multiplayer guy, so I'm definitely trying to shake off that rust because it's real, it's there.
Well,
But
you did Helldivers.
Right, I'm talking PvP though. Like, yeah, I'm fine against like AI.
Well, I mean, if you get into the wrong squad, there is a little PvP in Helldivers.
Right? Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, yeah. There can be PvP if you choose there to be PvP
Yeah. Another
for
cool
sure.
feature too that I actually I don't know if this will be as useful as they say it is, but it is neat that they thought about it. Is the age of the corpses. Like a squad goes down or somebody
Oh
gets
yeah.
down and dies. And I mean, you have like 20 minutes to extract, right? So they're obviously going to age quickly. But like, if you show up and you see this body and it's fresh, the enemy squad or enemy is still in the area. I think that's really neat.
That was a cool
One
idea
thing
for sure.
that they thought about. Um, I don't think it's actually going to be as useful in practice as they make it out to be, but it's a unique idea that I can appreciate, as well as like the blood from dragging. Like if you're dragging somebody to a spot, or like if they're crawling to a spot to get to safety, so you can revive them. That blood trail that shows and like kind of shows where they went to. Like if you're an enemy player hunting people that you downed, I thought that was neat. So there's some cool little things in there like that that um, make the game kind of neat. I played as the guy with the rocket pods. I couldn't figure out how to launch the rocket pods. I figured out after Server Slam that they just do it automatically,
Automatically.
but there
Okay.
weren't really like clear indicators that my rockets were going out. And I also I also couldn't figure out how to throw my grenades. I
I still don't know how you
I
throw your
know
grenade.
I know I had grenades. I couldn't figure out how to throw them. I was pressing buttons and nothing was working.
Yeah. Um. So yeah, no, that's our impressions of Marathon. I did buy it, so I look forward to playing more of it.
I hate when I get forced into buying stuff
Yeah,
because
yeah.
peer
You're
pressure.
like, you bought it, great, thanks for that.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Now I have to buy another video game.
And I got it. Yeah, add it to the pile, man.
Add it to the pile, but this one would actually get it would
That's
skip the
right.
backlog because it's
Yeah, it would jump the
multiplayer.
line for sure.
Yeah, I would have to jump the line because I can't just buy it and play it 5 years down the road.
You got,
I have to play it now.
you gotta play with the homies, man.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I'll probably end up picking it up soon, and we'll jump online and we'll get wasted together in game.
Hey, I am looking forward to it, man. For sure. Cool. All right. Well, we'll jump into some news because a lot of things happened the past week. So
Yeah, yeah. There was a
uh,
lot of
inc-
stuff going on.
yeah, including one thing that broke Kyle right after we ended our podcast. Do you remember that? It our podcast ended and I was like, dude, this got announced. I don't know if you remember. I don't know if you recall that. Uh, but
Um,
right after we recorded, they announced that they dropped the Marvel Maximum Collection, and then it was
oh
announced
yes,
for consoles and PC. Yeah, dude, this is. I am so excited for this. This is from NetosGameRoom.com or Neto's Game Room. Uh, limited run games, Marvel and Konami have announced Marvel Maximum Collection for the Switch, PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. This collection features 6 classic titles from both the arcade and 8-bit and 16-bit consoles. It includes a music player, digital archives, multiple display options, and the ability to create save states and rewind time. So, all the modern features that we are accustomed to playing
yeah,
in these older titles. So that's I do like that. I love when these older titles add these quality of life features and allow us to
I agree.
especially rewind. That one's nice.
Yeah,
Um,
because like, what if you suck? You know, well, rewind it
right,
and do
man.
better.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so
The one game that they announced in there that I'm looking forward to because I remember it from my youth. I didn't have a chance to play some of the other ones, but Captain America and the Avengers, I played that on the Sega
so good.
Genesis. Yeah,
Yes.
it was fantastic. So that one would be really interesting to me because like I always played as Iron Man. Iron Man to me was just like always so cool because he could fly, shoot lasers and stuff. And as a kid, like who didn't want to fly and shoot
I
lasers, right?
know. That's the dream, man. Um, yeah, I was actually. That's funny you say that because I was just about to announce all the games. First we have probably my favorite. I grew up in the arcades playing this, but the X Men the arcade game, and I pumped so many quarters into like Funko Land. Kyle, I don't know if you remember Funko Land,
Oh
but
yeah.
they had that arcade there, and I used to play that all the time. So I'm really excited about that. So yeah, X-Men the arcade game, Captain America and the Avengers, like you said, Kyle, Spider-Man, Venom, Maximum Carnage, and then they also have Separation Anxiety. They have Spider-Man and X-Men Arcade's Revenge, and then they have the only one on here that I haven't played, which is Silver Surfer, which was on the NES, and that's more of a shmup. That's more of a shoot 'em up game I've seen. And from what I understand, from what I've been hearing, is that game is hard. So yeah, looking forward to that. It says here, as if 6 comic book classic titles weren't enough, Marvel Maximum Collection goes one step further, adding a host of features designed to scratch the itch of modern gamers and collectors alike. Additional features include the archives, dive into a digital archive featuring high-resolution scans of original box art, instruction manuals, and vintage advertisements. Music player, and then, like we already said, rewind and save states and display options. So you can play with you can kind of have that Saturday morning experience with the CRT and scanline filters. So that's pretty cool. So
I've tried those before, and I like that they include them, but man, I've gotten so used to like modern TV and like having crisp pixels that sometimes I go back to CRT, and instead of nostalgia, it just makes it like not as fun for me to
yeah,
play. So
it depends on the
normally I
game.
don't turn those on.
Yeah, it depends on the game. There are some games where it does look way better with the CRT because it was meant for that. A good example is Sonic the Hedgehog. If you play on a CRT, the waterfall looks like it's really like running through you. But if you turn on, if you play it on like just a modern TV, no filters, you can see every pixel in that waterfall instead, and it looks horrendous. So yeah, it depends on the game really, but yeah.
Yeah.
But this is exciting. They don't say when. It just says coming soon. So I'm going to assume that means this year, within the next few months, maybe. Um, so coming soon. It says you can wish list now. So which I did. So I am looking forward to this, Kyle. I don't know. Are you looking forward to this, Kyle, at all, or are you just going to be a pass from you?
I guess it depends on how much it's going to cost me. Normally with stuff like this, I kind of wait to see if it ends up in a like the PlayStation Plus free library, or if it goes on sale. Because a lot of times for me, like games like this, unless it's a must play for me right away, I'll actually wait for a sale to add it to my backlog so that I don't buy it at full price. So
Yeah.
we'll have to see. Like if it's $50 when it first comes out, for me that probably wouldn't be worth it.
Right.
But
I'm
you never know.
hoping for like I'm hoping optimistic for like somewhere in like the $30 range. That's kind of what
Oh
I'm,
yeah.
you know. So I want it day one. I really do. But yeah, if they put it like a full price game, I'm not I'm not buying it for like 50, $60. So 30 for me is the sweet spot for this, I think. But I'm looking forward to it, Kyle. So
I buy a lot
yeah.
of games for $30.
Oh, that's true, man. Um, yeah. So, anyways, we'll talk about some a big news story that's been making the rounds now. It says here the rumors are well, they're kind of more than rumors at this point. But Sony is apparently going to be stopping putting their first party games on PC. So, and that includes, this is an article from Push Square here. They are apparently, even though they had plans, but they're going to pull the plug on the PC ports of Saros and Ghost of Yotei. So,
Wow.
yeah, and like I said, yeah, this comes way of Push Square, but they said as part of our wider story on Sony's decision to pull back on PC ports of its single-player games, it seems planned versions of Saros and Ghost of Yotei have both been scrapped. While the former isn't even out on PS5 yet and was likely up to a year away anyway, it's possible Sucker Punch's sequel, which originally released last year on the 2nd of October, may have launched on storefronts like Steam at some point after the summer. Uh, Citing sources familiar with the matter, Bloomberg journalist Jason Schreier, which he is a very reputable journalist, by the way, so he says PlayStation pulled the plug on all of these first-party ports within the last few weeks, so it's a relatively recent strategy change. We still don't really know the reason behind its decision, but it sounds like sales haven't been meeting expectations, and the platform holder wants to put its own hardware first. After all, exclusives exist to attract players to an ecosystem where the bulk of many manufacturers' money is made, which, I mean, I agree with. I think this is, I
I think I know why.
yeah, I think there's two main reasons. Um,
Let's hear it.
I think, well, they already say it in this article, but I think the PC ports or the sales of these ports of these games just haven't been as strong as Sony probably thought that they were going to be at first. Um, I think they make up for about 1.5% of their sales,
Yeah.
which is still like, I think it's like $1.5 to $2 billion. But that's since they started the PC porting, though. So that's like 5-6 years ago, and I'm sure the majority of that is Helldivers 2. So I think it was an experiment by Sony. They just don't see the long term benefits of this. They probably think, and probably rightfully so, that it's going to harm their brand more than anything. You have a lot of diehard PlayStation fans out there that don't want to see their exclusive games going to other platforms, including PC. So, and Sony knows this. They're not dumb. They might make dumb decisions sometimes, but they do hear what's going on and see what's going on. The other reason is, which we're gonna get into probably next. They don't, Xbox's next console is gonna play PC games.
Exactly. Yes.
Yes, bingo,
That's
right? Like
that.
that's
Yeah. That's why I think, for me, like, guys, if you're a PlayStation gamer and you're still so diehard that you don't want anybody to play these games and experience these stories because they're not on Daddy Sony's console, you got to go outside and touch some grass, because that's just not good. Like, everyone deserves to be able to play these games and experience these worlds and these environments, and it's less about console wars these days. Like, that was cool 20 years ago, okay, when like Xbox first came out and it was competing with Sony and everything else. But now it's less about that and more about, what game ecosystem is going to allow for you to have the best experience to play with your friends, right? And which ones are going to have, like, yeah, there's some exclusives that aren't going to make it across, and that's okay. But like, we shouldn't gatekeep because somebody just hates the other system for like no reason other than it's the other system. But I do think the real reason is because, literally, like, just this week, when this article also came out, Xbox announced Project Helix, which is, one, I've got some issues with that, but two, it's going to play, like you said, PC games, right? So they are trying to not get games on Xbox that they were only trying to put on PC. So with the next Xbox coming out that can play PC games, I think Sony's going to be a little bit more choosy about what they put on PC if they're not ready to put it on Xbox yet.
right. Yeah, it's a couple different factors, because even in this article, like we had said, but they even say here, Sony has been registering record revenues this generation, with the PS5 generating more money than all of its previous consoles combined. But that's all occurring within the boundaries of its own walled garden, with its PC ports representing as little as 1.5% of its overall income since the strategy started. So this is, like I said, Kyle, this is not like recently. This is since they started porting their games to PC. So it really doesn't move the needle that much for them, and I think
Yeah.
they see that, and they see the value in exclusives, and there is. I mean, Xbox
Yeah.
moved away from exclusives, and I mean, it's kind of falling apart for them. I A console does need exclusives. I just, you need something to attract players to your console and to your ecosystem.
Yeah.
And
No, exactly. I just don't think that they should gatekeep everything, right? Like because of console wars and like we hate the Xbox guys or
Right.
we hate the PlayStation guys. Like for me, that's such a like South Park did the bit on it and great. It was really funny. And ever since then, like now it's different, right? Like times are different, and yeah, still have exclusives, um, but I think that's a silly reason to like just because you hate the other system. That's
Right. No, I agree. That's not a good reason. But yeah, I think this is important for Sony to kind of keep their identity. Um, and they want to attract players for their next console, with the PS6. They want to make sure that you don't, I guess, quote unquote, switch to PC or whatever they're thinking. But I don't know.
yeah.
Um, we'll see what happens with this. Some
I mean,
pretty
I'm not against it. I think they've got to do what they feel is best for their fan base and for their games. It's just to me, it's just another news article, and I just don't like. For me, I'm just looking at it through the lens of people that maybe think like, "Oh yeah, great, we're sticking it to Xbox and PC."
right.
Like,
Yeah, for that
consoles
reason, I
exclusive.
see what you're saying.
Right. Yeah, that's mostly what I'm saying. Like, obviously, still have console
Like, take that,
exclusives.
Xbox.
Right. Yeah. Like we're so
Take
far
that,
beyond that.
PC.
Like, guys, take your popped collars back, okay? Like this was a long time ago.
Yeah. Um.
But for like the project Helix though, I do find it so laughably comedic and just like a woeful attempt at boosting this person by having their first announcement be we're bringing back the Xbox console. Like, okay, so Asha, we talked about this in the last podcast where they took somebody who's like never played video games and like has no idea what gamers want and is like the AI business engineer that's worked at other places and they installed her into the CEO of Xbox position. And I think to win favor with the fan, they knew Xbox was coming back. They already knew. So
Right.
to win favor, they waited on this announcement until they put Asha in. So
Oh, for sure.
that she could make the announcement. But it's
I
like,
think so
okay,
too.
one, we're not stupid, okay? Like we know what you're doing, guys. Just be honest. Come out and say it. Hey guys, we feel pretty dumb that we put in somebody who has no gaming experience. So here's an olive branch that we've been waiting. We're gonna have her announce the next Xbox Project Helix.
Yeah. Yeah. This has obviously been. I mean, Sarah Bond announced it. She announced it like way back when she was like it's going to be a premium priced console. And yeah, no, this is a long time in the making. But yeah, like you said, I think so too that they were waiting to save it for so that she can kind of spread the good news, for
Save
Xbox.
face. Like, does she know what a Helix is? Like, I mean, like, does she know what Project Helix is other than somebody like a staffer delivering her this thing and like posting it for her on her
Right.
own like Twitter page, or like does she know anything
Yeah,
about it?
I know.
Or did somebody like her because she probably has people at this point now they're posting for her on Twitter or X now I guess, right? Like does she know that there's a new console coming out, or is she just like giving us a business engine and somebody else is running this page? I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
obviously still irritated that they put in somebody who has no gaming experience as the next leader of Xbox because
yeah.
wow, like
Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, that's so that kind of goes into our next article about it. But yeah, this comes from PureXbox.com as they announce, new Project Helix, and that it'll play PC games. So this tweet was shared by Asha Sharma, and she said, "Great start to the morning with Team Xbox, where we talked about our commitment to the return of Xbox, including Project Helix, the code name for our next generation console. Project Helix will lead in performance and play your Xbox and PC games. Looking forward to chatting about this more with partners and studios at my first GDC next week." So yeah, GDC is next week, so I don't know if they're going to talk more about the console itself or if she's just meeting with developers and partners to talk about it behind closed doors. I'm not sure. Yeah, so I don't know if we're going to get any more info about this at all. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, it says here that's going to play your PC games. Now, my question is, to what extent, you know, uh, is it going to be, are you going to have multiple Steam fronts, like Steam and GOG, Epic, so forth and so on? Is it going to be the watered down version of Steam, or is it going to be the full Steam storefront? You know, are you going to be able to play every PC game on Steam, or is it going to be, obviously there's a lot of questions for the PC
Does
part of it.
Asha know what Steam is?
Right? Yeah, I don't know, man. It's up in the air
That's
at this point.
I know. Obviously, sour grapes. And for me, like the thing for me is like qualifications make the person. Like, why would you ever put somebody into a position that they have no experience for? You know what I mean? Like for me, as a
Right.
product manager, I remember years and years ago, I was at a company, I was working at a software company as a customer success manager, which is basically an account manager, but like with the added bonus of you're not just managing their account, you're like helping them to be successful. It's like the new rebranding of account management. And someone came to me and he was like the leadership guy, and he we were interviewing to hire new people, and he brings me a list of people that he wanted me to interview, and one of them was someone that was literally working at a car wash as like a car washer. And I looked at him and I'm like, why is his resume here? And he's like, oh, I just thought that they had good experience. I'm like, good experience washing cars, not dealing with software accounts. Like, I'm not here to babysit and to teach people how to manage software accounts. Like, I need people that already are out of their diapers and have their big boy pants on and have experience doing that. And for me, Xbox, for whatever reason, brought on somebody that has no experience in gaming to run their gaming division. And it's just like the most frustrating and comedic thing that I think has happened in gaming in a long time.
Yeah, it's definitely a head scratcher. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I guess what happens. I don't want to speak too soon, but I'm just trying to figure out the whole Xbox, what their angle is on this console. So it sounds like it's just going to be a PC. It's going to be a closed PC that can play your Xbox games and PC games, though to what extent we don't know. So I don't know which crowd this is supposed to appeal to. Um, I don't see it appealing to the PC crowd at all, because they have their rigs, they have their open setup. They're happy with
Yeah, they
their.
spend thousands of dollars on to have
Yeah,
top tier stuff.
and the console crowd, I think, I don't. They might be priced out because this thing is supposedly going to be really expensive. It's going to be have a hefty price tag. So she even says here it's going to lead in performance. So it's probably going to be pretty expensive, this thing. And wouldn't you think? I'm thinking $1,000 plus.
I don't know if they could do that. I don't think it'll be 1,000. I think it'll be 700, like the PlayStation Pro, maybe 800.
If it's 700, they're eating a lot of that cost. I would be shocked if
And it
I would be
depends on their
shocked if
angle, right? Like, is their angle consoles and hardware, or is their angle software and video games?
I don't know. I just think if it's below 900, I think I will be like extremely shocked. Because at that point, I have to wonder how much it's being subsidized. Like
I
they're
mean, if it's
probably eating a lot of
900
that
though,
cost.
how many people are going to buy it when you can get a
Well,
decent
right.
gaming rig for the same
It's
price?
it's a premium console. Sarah Bond even said so. So I think it's going to appeal to a very niche audience. I think this thing sells 10, 15 million lifetime, if I were to guess.
Maybe it's because Asha doesn't understand gamers and gaming and doesn't realize that console people don't want to spend $1,000 on a console. That's why we buy consoles.
Right. So I don't know. We'll have to see. I want to see more.
I'm
I
so
can't
bad.
say. Yeah, no, I'm just trying to. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
It does sound like they're using keywords here, though, to slowly warm us up to the fact that they're going to drop $1,000 console and make it seem like it's worth the price, which maybe it will be. I mean, if it's got, you know, like what is it, Nvidia's 5090 specs in it or whatever, like
Yeah.
maybe it is worth it at that point. I don't know.
There's a good chance it will be. I mean, yeah, for everything that it offers, it probably will be worth it. I will make that stance. I just don't know who'd be willing to pay that price. But yeah, I'm willing to bet that it'll be worth it. So I thought the PS3 when it released for 600, I thought that was worth it. I mean, honestly, I mean that's kind of a hot take maybe, but I mean,
The PS3 released for 600?
yeah, the for the 60 gig version, and that's the one I bought.
I don't know that I bought that one.
You might have bought the 20 gig version for 500.
I
Um,
yeah.
Yeah,
don't,
no,
I don't
I got
ever
the
spend $600 on one. That's
that was a lot, dude. Especially
yeah,
in
at the
2006.
time.
Like that
Hmm.
was a lot of money in 2006.
Yeah, that might make your hands a little sweaty making that
Yeah,
purchase.
but it was I was like, man, this is awesome. It was a Blu-ray player, so that was that was alone I think worth it too.
Well, the PS2 was a Blu-ray player, right?
DVD player, but yeah,
Oh, DVD. That's right. PS3 was Blu-ray.
hmm
Yeah. No,
yeah.
I guess that did make it
So,
worth it at that point. I mean,
but so
we'll
yeah,
certainly keep tabs on it, and we'll
yeah,
see where this goes.
yeah, absolutely. But yeah, moving on. Earlier we reported that Blue Point had been shut down by Sony. That was last week. Well, now we were hearing reports that, well, we kind of already figured that Blue Point pitched a Bloodborne remake to Sony, but we weren't sure what happened, if Sony turned it down or if they just didn't want to move forward with the project, if they started developing it early and it got cut. But now reports have spilled out that Blue Point did pitch a Bloodborne remake to Sony, but From Software rejected it, not Sony. So it says here, just days. This comes from Eurogamer.net, and it says just days after Sony decided to close Remake Masters, Blue Point Games, a new report claims that wasn't PlayStation itself that stonewalled the idea of a Bloodborne remake by Blue Point, but developer From Software instead. So I don't know how I feel about this. I think Sony wants to keep their relationship with From Software amicable,
Hmm.
um, because it says here that a new report from Bloomberg claims that Bluepoint did in fact approach FromSoft in early 2025, pitching a remake of the 2015 game. It said that the studio was told that the numbers made sense, but From Software didn't want it to happen. So, interestingly, former president of Sony Interactive, Shuhei Yoshida, posted this same said this last year, saying Bloodborne is one of the most popular asks on my Twitter, and the people wonder why we haven't really done anything. It should be easy, right? Miyazaki-san really, really loved Bloodborne, what he created, and he did. I've heard this. So Miyazaki, I know he kind of looks at Bloodborne like his baby, right? Like that's I think his favorite project that he's done. He's kind of stated as such. And it says here, so I think he is interested, but he's so successful and he's so busy that so he cannot do it himself, and he doesn't want anyone else to touch it. So
So he's basically gatekeeping it because
he
he
can't
wants
work
to be
on it.
involved. Yeah, he wants to be involved in the project. It's his baby. Doesn't want anybody else to work on it without him. I mean
Yeah,
that makes sense. I mean, if I had something that was that important to me, I probably would want to be involved. It's just, I guess, a little bit unfortunate that it's kind of spiraled into Blue Points being all let go.
yeah. I don't know, and some of this I don't know how true it is because I'm like, what? Why? This says after this rejection, Bluepoint allegedly pitched an updated version of its Shadow of the Colossus remake to Sony, as well as a Ghost of Tsushima spin-off. But these ideas were also turned down. with Bloomberg suggesting that other studios were concerned about dedicating significant resources to another team's project. Yeah, I don't know.
That doesn't
So
sound right though.
no, Shadow of the Colossus, you just remade that for PS4 and it looked immaculate.
Right. Plus, Ghost of Tsushima does have a spin-off that is currently out right now and is outselling it, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's outpacing its sales. Yeah, it is.
Right. So that part doesn't like no studio that is working with Sony would have thought to pitch those things because like they literally already did it and they knew that Ghost of Yote was coming out. So
Yeah,
that actually makes me wonder about the claim of doing a Bloodborne remake because those are just clearly like those can't be real.
yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. It's hard to tell like make what's what in this report, like what's true, what isn't. But
Yeah.
there are I think the Bloodborne thing is real because that's multiple people have like stated as such. So it sucks. We'll probably never get a Bloodborne
But
remake, but
they pitched it in 2025. So like
yeah.
how are they it says after this rejection, Bluepoint pitched a Ghost of Tsushima spin-off. How are you going to pitch a Ghost of Tsushima spin-off when you know that Ghost of Yote is either currently out or about to be released? Because
Yeah.
like
Right.
I don't
Exactly.
I don't know. It just that part leads me to believe that the previous part might not be true because that seems pretty fabricated.
Well, I suppose it takes. So they would pitch the Ghost of Tsushima spin-off 2025. It probably takes them 4 or 5 years to complete the game. So I suppose it would come out 2030 maybe. I don't know. Who knows? We'll never know, I guess. But
Yeah.
that's that. That's okay. Moving on though. So Bandai Namco a few days ago teased a little video, little screenshot saying new RPG to be revealed. Uh, and it was actually, I think it was yesterday on the 5th. And it ended up being echoes of if I'm saying this right, Aincrad, Aincrad. But anyway, it's a Sword Art Online game, and they announced it for PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. No Switch. So they announced it. It's going to launch on July 9th, so kind of soon. They from the announcement to when it's going to launch. I mean, was that 3 months, Kyle? 4 months? Four
Yeah.
months.
Yeah, it's
So
coming up.
that's a pretty tight window from announcement to launch. I kind of like that.
I do too.
Um,
I don't like them announcing a game and then 5 years later releasing it. That
yeah,
sucks.
cough. God of War trilogy remake. Cough.
And like I don't know, Final Fantasy Versus 13,
Oh my
Grand Theft
gosh,
Auto
yeah.
6, and so many others. Like
But yeah, no, this is cool. Kyle, have you played a Sword Art Online game before?
I have not. It's one of those games where we talked about earlier. I would like to, but I don't know if I have the time. It
Yeah.
looks it looks good. Like I like the art direction. I'm wondering why this news article though has let's see, count them 4 screenshots of this anime dude in his underwear.
Well, they really want you to see his physique.
Yeah, I was just wondering because it's like literally 4 screenshots of the exact same thing. Guy standing there in his chonies, and then it leads with other screenshots of like the environment and the art direction looks cool. It looks like a fun game that'd be right up my
So
alley.
I was gonna mention that next. So the graphics have had a noticeable glow up. So the Sword Art Online games, I've played one of them. Didn't get that far into it, but I've played it. It was fun. But they've made several since then. So there's actually quite a few Sword Art Online games. And the graphics in this one have noticeably been stepped up. It's I would say it's a pretty significant leap over the
It
rest of the
looks like they're
games.
using the latest Unreal Engine, which might explain why the
Right, I think they
graphics are,
are.
are so much better. Yeah.
But it looks fun. I'm very interested, Kyle. I don't know. It definitely grabbed my attention. You know. Uh, I'd like to see a little more gameplay. So we'll see. I'm sure in the
It
coming
has a little
months.
bit of a Zelda look to it.
Yeah,
Like
it kind of
some of
does.
the
I thought that too.
like some
Yeah,
of the outfits, some of the elements, the swords. It has a very Breath of the Wild
yeah, just
look
the
to it.
aesthetic itself, right? Like, yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Even some of the enemies, they look like some of the enemies that you see in Zelda Breath of the Wild. I'm just looking at the video that they posted for the trailer.
yeah.
Um, Geez, it even looks like they have a guy that's kind of Gideon-esque in there. Um, but yeah, it looks pretty cool. I mean, it definitely hits that like RPG or action RPG vibe that I
Yeah,
like.
it's gonna have, I guess some nice exploration elements to it. Like right here in the press release, it says here, explore a thriving world, wander across diverse cities, and journey through stunning environments from serene plains to perilous dungeons filled with secrets. Complete quests, hunt rare treasures, and challenge formidable foes in real-time action combat. The map expands as your story unfolds, revealing new areas and dangers at every turn. So it seems like it's going to be a pretty large map, and that's going to basically, unfog itself as you go through the story, so
I'm
to speak.
wondering honestly how much of this they are taking from Zelda Breath of the Wild because like I'm the more I'm looking at this video and not a dig against it, but like obviously Zelda did amazing, but like there's a character with a shield on his back with a sword through it that looks literally like Link running around with his shield and sword. And then
Yeah.
there's this like pillar statue thing that comes out of the ground that looks like the same thing that you put your little device into to distill the
Oh,
map
yeah.
into. It looks exactly like it, and some of the like the graphic, like the like ancient writings look very Zelda-y. Man, I don't know.
Yeah.
Are they gonna get in trouble with Nintendo for this? Like, is that why they're not letting Nintendo? Because it's too much like Zelda.
Right. They don't want to compete against Zelda. No, who knows,
No,
man?
seriously, like there are some screenshots here. I'm just like that looks like a
Yeah.
scene out of Zelda. Like there's one I'm looking at, looks like Zelda and Link together fighting.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. Looks good though. I mean, looks good.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, it sure does.
so I'm gonna keep an eye on it. Looks good. So, but yeah. Moving on here, we have a bit of I would say sad news, but also news that I think we pretty much all expected to hear at some point. This is comes to no surprise on my part, but Highguard is going to permanently shut down on March 12th. Wildlight to release one final update with a new warden, a new weapon, skill trees, and more. Now that's funny. It's like why you're shutting it down? Why even do that? Is it because I mean you promised, I guess, so you have to? But that just seems silly. Like
Promises
we're
made, promises kept, man. They've got it. They just release it.
like we're shutting down in 1 week. But we're gonna give you another update with like a new weapon, skill trees that you can play with for a few days before we shut it down forever. So I don't know. That's
Well,
just
maybe the trophy hunter is doing the same thing for Conquered, right?
I
Maybe
think
you
they are
get those
going. Yeah,
weapons.
I've heard a bit of chatter about it. So I guess it's very doable. So yeah, this comes way of MSN.com. Says here, Wildlight has announced that it will be permanently shutting down High Guard on March 12th. Before then, it will release one final update that adds a new warden, a new weapon, account level progression, and skill trees for those who want to get their final matches in. Uh, Wildlight shared the news on Twitter, saying, "Today we are sharing difficult news. We have made the decision to permanently shut down High Guard on March 12th. Since launch, more than 2 million players stepped into High Guard's world. You shared feedback, created content, and many believed in what we were building. For that, we are deeply grateful. Despite the passion and hard work of our team, we have not been able to build a sustainable player base to support the game long term. Servers will remain online until March 12th. We hope you'll jump in with us one more time to show your support and get those final great matches in while we still can." So, sounds like the end of the line for High Guard. So, it's sad. I never enjoy hearing a game coming to a demise. So, but
Same.
I don't know. I'm
I
not
wish
surprised. I
when
don't. I
when
don't
stuff
think.
like this happens, I was gonna say when stuff like this happens, I wish that they would share the numbers. Like you're shutting it down, just open up the books and share what happened and what went wrong. Because like it
Yeah,
went from 100,000 concurrent players on release to like nothing, had mostly negative reviews. So like what went
yeah.
wrong? You know, like what was your budget for making it? What did you sell? How much money did you make? How much money did you need to make to keep it sustainable? You know, did the reviews really impact you that much, or was it concurrent players? Like, did you not sell enough? I want to know like what's the business decision behind something like this to just take a game offline completely almost immediately after launch.
Yeah, it lasted what, maybe, I don't know, a month longer than Concord?
That
Would you
long, huh?
say? I think so. Not like,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's, I don't know. Yeah, I don't
I just
know.
want to know, you know, like it's stuff like this, like use it as a case study for the future. Like people are just curious about these kinds of things. You know, like we want to know what made it so awful that it has to be taken offline forever, and what can we learn from it so that
Well,
those same mistakes aren't repeated.
yeah, I think one of the mistakes too is, they players got really butthurt that it was the last game shown at the Game Awards. I mean, really butthurt. And that right there, I think, kind of doomed the game because then it just got a bunch of you know, negative feedback from the community about
Yeah,
that.
it got review bombed.
Yep, people were not happy that it was the one more thing video shown at the Game Awards. So people kind of made up in their own mind already that they were just not going to, be into it and be a part of it, which is okay. But unfortunately, it's impacted the game, and now the game will be no more. So,
Unfortunately, the gaming community, much like other communities, has just oftentimes become a little bit too toxic for its own good. Where you know sometimes we can't have nice things. I mean, I'm not saying this was nice, but sometimes we can't have nice things because people are just so critical and judgmental, and it's unfortunate to see a game go down. But you know, if it truly wasn't, I didn't play it, so if it truly wasn't that good,
I
then
didn't either.
you know, I guess this is what needs to happen. But like I say, I actually had fun with Conquered.
Yeah, I remember you said that.
I had fun playing it. I had a buddy of mine. We both got it. We played it, and it was fun. There were some balance issues, a few maps that were too big, but for the most part, I liked it. And I've never played Overwatch. Like I didn't have hero shooter fatigue. My
Right,
first
right.
my first hero shooter was Conquered, and I enjoyed it. I didn't have other things to compare it to, and I thought, hey, this is actually okay. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. So that's it. It's the end of the road for High Guard. So good luck, Wildlight. Hopefully, you guys all find something else, and you guys fall into other positions within the industry. So, wishing you luck. So, all right, moving on. This rumor has been heating up quite a bit, and this comes way of MSN.com. A God of War spin-off featuring Kratos' wife, Faye, is reportedly in development. It says here, an unexpected God of War character is reportedly getting a spin-off from developer Sony Santa Monica. Faye, the wife of Kratos and mother of Atreus, portrayed by Daredevil and True Blood star Deborah Ann Woll, will star in her very own game, rumored to be revealed this year, and then it'll be released in 2027. The news came to light after well-known leaker Nate the Hate on X revealed that Sony Santa Monica's new game would be set in the God of War universe, with Faye as the lead, and with a greater emphasis on action than previous titles or previous entries. Information surrounding the leak was further confirmed by IGN, so this has been corroborated by several news outlets. It says here, Bloomberg reporter Jason Schreier previously shared that Sony Santa Monica was working on a new project, but not a new IP. Nate the Hate's leak, as well as a LinkedIn profile for a senior writer on the project, shared on Reset Era, confirms that there's more God of War on the way. And says here, the reveal of the game centering on Faye, however, is a surprise of giant proportions because, she's a giant, by the way, and people didn't know
Yep.
that. um, cause so she's introduced as dead and is later cremated with very little time spent with her physically.
Yeah.
God of War, the 2018 version, explores Kratos' and Atreus' grief over their loss of Faye, bringing them closer together. So yeah, Kyle, I'm not gonna read this whole thing, but you do learn more about Faye through Kratos' dreams. I know that in Ragnarok. So we
Yeah.
know that she, had died. I don't know. I think this is kind of cool. She was a giant, so the combat would be different, and it's going to be more action focused. So I don't know if it's appropriate to compare it to like Devil May Cry, but that's what some people are comparing it to. But I think this is kind of cool to explore this backstory of Faye and maybe see how she met Kratos and
Hmm.
how they came to be. And I would be very interested in seeing her side of the story. And I know you learn that she has a few run-ins with Thor as well. So I'm assuming that you're gonna fight Thor in it too. I don't know, Kyle. I'm kind of excited for this. What do you think, man?
I think I'd like to learn more about the giants and their world and what happened to them, because we know
Right.
that they're almost non-existent and they're like only held together by well, I don't know if I'm ready to give it away, but they're basically they almost don't exist anymore in the world of God of War Ragnarok. So I'd be curious to learn more about their side of things. I'd be curious to see like how she meets Kratos and see like that side. I'm a sucker for God of War, like the 2018 version and on. I never got to play the previous ones, but I really love the lore, the Norse lore, and everything. So if this is true, bring it on. I love it.
Yeah, because I kind of felt like we got gypped because we only got we got 3 games. Well, I guess 4 games in the Greek. Well, more than that too because of the PSP games. But we got several games anyway in the Greek mythology. But we only got 2 games in the Norse. So
So
I feel
far.
like so far and that's what the point I'm making. They supposedly quote unquote wrapped up the Norse saga with Ragnarok. So assuming this would still be this would be in the Norse mythos. So I would be down for that because
I would be down for it too.
yeah, I want more. I want more in the Norse. I really enjoyed that, especially since we're going to be almost certainly going to Egypt for the next major God of War game. It sounds like so. I wouldn't mind playing as Faye and seeing more of this backstory in the Norse mythos. I think it'll be a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to it. I guess we're going to hear more about it this summer, according to Christopher Judge, who,
Yeah,
you
I was
know,
gonna say maybe
inadvertently gave it away.
someone. Yeah, there we
So
go.
looks like we're going to hear about it this summer, and we'll be playing it by next year if all goes according to plan. So I'm excited, man.
Of this same thing here, like I just want to take a moment and say that like I really love the Norse God of War, but you saw the screenshot from the God of War Amazon series that they're doing, right? With like Kratos and the kid. It's like
Yeah.
the we have God of War at home or the Chinese knockoff of God of War. Like I cannot believe how far the characters look from their game counterparts. Like they look nothing like Kratos and Atreus. They're like
Especially don't
half
like
of Lucy.
Atreus's character they're using. you know,
Yeah,
um, and I
I
think
I just don't like it. Like they're it's one thing to not look like them, but to have some similarity. It's another thing to look so far from them that it's like glaringly distracting.
yeah, I thought the Kratos. I thought that. I'm hoping they just kind of caught them at like an awkward angle. Like it was just a bad angle of them,
Oh,
which
maybe.
maybe, which I know too. It's like well, they're it's Amazon. Shouldn't they have made sure that they got the perfect angle, the perfect picture? Uh, so we'll see. I don't know. I want to see. And maybe too, Kyle. I'm thinking this. Maybe it looks different if we see like see it in motion. Like if we see a trailer of it.
Maybe. Yeah.
So I'm really eager to see the first trailer of God of War. I want to see how it looks in action, in motion, when they're fighting, conversing, how it looks there. Because yeah, I think that was just a really that still shot was just a really bad shot, and I'm hoping that's all it was, just a bad shot.
The thing is though is we have seen video game characters come to life looking very much like their video game counterparts. One of the best examples that I remember before Netflix admitted that they were literally trying to tank the show to viewers was The Witcher. Henry Cavill, he played a fantastic Geralt of Rivia and looked like him, talked like him, acted like him, and I was so glad that he left the Netflix show after learning that the Netflix writers were trying to like ruin the show. Like they admitted that they were trying to ruin the story and like do things that the fan base would not like.
That's
And
crazy. I don't know why you'd ever
yeah,
want
he's
to do
like, I
that.
can't. Well, it's the same reason why was it Rian Johnson's when he was on Episode 8 from Star Wars. One
Yeah,
of his famous quotes is, "I like making movies that half the people love and half the people hate," and he knew like nothing about Star Wars. And anyways, they like tanked Star Wars on purpose because they wanted to divide the fan base. So
that
anyways,
sounds like Kojima a little bit too.
they do, yeah, they just do strange things sometimes. But maybe you're right. Maybe when we see the live action, like them actually moving around acting like it, it'll be a little bit better. But I remember I
Yeah,
saw that on Instagram and I sent it to you with like
I remember.
I can't remember what emoji was. It was like the poop emoji with like the dead skull and crying and like all kinds of mixed
Puking
emotions.
emoji. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, seriously, this is what they've done to my boy.
Look how they massacred my boy.
Yeah, that's the line. Anyways, I just thought I'd mention it because like sometimes just because you can do something doesn't mean that you should.
Right, doesn't mean you should. That's a good point. Yeah, ain't that the truth? So yeah, but yeah, cool. Well, I'm looking forward to the God of War announcement or whatever they're gonna call it. Faye of War,
Goddess of war.
Goddess of War. I like that too. So yeah, but anyway, Kyle, we also missed another big event. This is after we recorded about a day after, but they had Pokemon Day. Pokemon Day
Oh,
on the 27th.
baby.
Yeah, they announced a myriad of Pokemon projects. Also including the very end, they showed a nice little trailer for the new Pokemon. Gen 10 Pokemon is here, and it is called Pokemon Winds and Waves. They showed a nice little trailer for that. It's been revealed, and it is also it's being developed again by Game Freak, which we knew.
Yeah.
So, but the reveal trailer showed off plenty of details. It says here. Yeah, I don't know. It showed a lot of cool things, a lot of things I have questions on, but it's going to be released.
It was neat.
It was. It's surprised me because I have been kind of down on Pokemon lately. The last few iterations, I hated Sword and Shield. Was not impressed by Scarlet and Violet. I didn't even play ZA because I didn't even think ZA looked good to me, so I didn't even
I
play
just
that.
like Pokemon are caught in the wild. Like, why would they run around a city looking for Pokemon that are hobos, like living out of garbage cans and crap?
And and it's just a city. I don't want to just run around just one big city. I don't know. I don't know. It just didn't look good to me.
I liked Sword though.
But yeah,
I did enjoy Sword. I didn't like the 30 FPS frame rate. Like 30 FPS kind of makes me a little bit queasy, but I did enjoy it. I liked the trailer. I'm big on like water and surfing, and I grew up like on the water wakeboarding every weekend of my life. Like, so for me, when they announced Pokemon Winds and Waves, I was like, waves, absolutely freaking fantastic. And like you can't really see the sign, but back here I've got like a glowing wave. Like it's not actually flashing; it's LED, so it strobes with like the shutter of my camera I use. But I just love water so much, and like a Pokemon game based on like the beach and the ocean is doing it for me. When they showed Gekwa, I was like, oh man, that's my starter. That's the starter I'm gonna get. I do think it was a weird choice to open with us like them showing the windmill. I guess it was because that's how they wanted to represent wind,
Wind, yeah.
but it was a little bit strange. I feel like opening with like the water effects that they have would have been better because the water effects and the water realm looks so much more detailed than the windmill. And maybe they could have showed the windmill after that.
Dude,
But otherwise, it looks good.
the water looked great. Did you see how good the water looked? I couldn't believe that.
Yeah, it almost looks too good for the game like itself.
Yeah, I was like, oh my
Yeah,
god, that water looks amazing, and like it's gonna have like, and they're alluding to that it's gonna have like underwater gameplay of some sort. You know, do you see that how
oh,
they kind of went under the
I
water?
did see. Yeah, I saw maybe a screen or a few clips of that underwater, and it kind of makes me wonder: did they take a page out of the Digimon um, Time Stranger book? Because you have some underwater scenes there where
Oh
you get
yeah.
into Whalemon's mouth. He takes you down underwater in a scene, and a bunch of times actually you go underwater and you get to walk around. And so I'm wondering if they're like,
Huh.
man, Digimon Time Stranger did really good. Maybe we should like try to actually learn from that.
Up our game a little bit here, yeah. And it looks
Yeah,
like they are. The setting I like. It's like this tropical South Asia,
yeah,
Southeast Asia
it looks great.
setting. It looks, yeah. I really dig the aesthetic. Just the environment that they're using for the backdrop of this game. I'm really
And the
interested in.
Pikachu's in like the floral shirts and stuff, like
Yeah,
they just like tropical
yeah.
Pikachu. I mean, come on. It reminds me of what was it, Sun and Moon that was in Hawaii? Is that the one?
I think so.
I never got to play that, but I always loved
I didn't either.
the aesthetic of it. So I'm glad that they're bringing back the ocean vibes.
Yeah, I'm going. I'm definitely gonna go Palm Bomb. I think Palm Bomb looks fantastic. I love the look of the little fire dog Pokemon.
Dude, you would, man. I had a neighbor growing up with a dog that looked just like that thing, and it's cute, but I'm going for the Gekwa water type. I want a little
Right.
lizard as a Pokemon, man. Like,
Well,
it looks so
you
cool.
better watch out, Kyle, 'cause coming for you. Then, well, actually, I guess you would just destroy me because I think water is strong to fire. So I
Yep.
guess you would probably take me out pretty
You'd have to
quick.
pick. Was it uh, the little bean chick
Yeah,
Browse?
I don't remember.
The angry bird Pokemon. It like has a furrowed brow like this.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it looks good though, man. This is probably the most excited I've been for Pokemon in a while. Because like I said, I've been pretty down on it the past few years.
Yeah.
So, I think Game Freak might be finally kind of getting their act together here, man.
I guess we'll find
Um,
out. I mean, like I've said before, I've been getting my Pokemon fix actually from the Digimon game because
yeah,
it's so good. It plays well. It's got everything that you would expect it to have, that you would want it to have. All the quality of life things that a modern game should have. The ability to like speed up battles that are not like you don't want to take your time on because you're just grinding. I mean, it was just
right.
such a really well done game, and it gave me that Pokemon fix because lately Pokemon just hasn't done it for me. But this one, I think, is gonna bring it back, and I'm gonna need a Switch 2 to play this for sure.
Yeah, I heard some like grumbling and some moaning online about that it's not coming to Switch, and I'm like, look, they want this thing to run and look the best it can. I mean, putting it on the Switch is only going to hold it back, and it's like
Those are the
at
same
some
people that want games on PS4 still.
I know, and it's like at what point do you people realize that that they need to push people towards their new hardware?
Yeah.
They just need to. They want people off the Switch and coming onto the Switch too. That's just
Well, so case in point here is I have a Switch 1, you have a Switch 2. I saw Pokemon Pokopia, and I was like, dude, like a cozy little Pokemon game. That actually sounds like fun to me. And
yeah,
so I popped on the Switch and I went to look for it, and it's only on Switch 2. And I was like, oh, so this is what this
yeah,
feels like, right? To not have the current system to be able to play it. And so for me, it's like, okay, great. Well, eventually I'll pick up Switch 2 and I'll pick up this game and I'll get to play it. I'm not mad that they didn't put it on the system, because I know they didn't put it on the system because they didn't want to like hold back the graphics and capabilities for a system that is older. Like, put it on the new system and make
Right.
it the best it could possibly be.
Yeah. Dude, I I've got to tell Andrea about that game. I don't think she even knows about it yet. She would love that game. Dude,
It
because of the Animal Crossing vibes it gives off
it
too.
it, it looks like fun. The
Like
only thing that bothers me is like the long arms on the Ditto human. I feel like it's a little bit weird, but maybe you get used to it
it
after a
is
while.
weird, but I'm sure after looking at them for 20 plus hours, you'll you'll
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, no. So we got winds and waves. The difference in the versions, I don't know if it says here. I'm looking, but oh well, it says here that it hasn't been revealed yet. So we don't know yet. You know, assuming they're gonna have different unique legendary Pokemon. That's usually
That's what
what
I'm
they do.
thinking.
Yeah. So yeah, no, yeah. I'm looking at the starters here. Yeah, that Palm just looks super cute. I don't know. They all look pretty cool. That Gekwa looks pretty neat too.
Yeah. Team Gekko over here for sure. I already know.
Okay.
Heck yeah, man. I'm a nerd. I have, dude. I still like next to me. I've shown you this before, but like I've got my Pokemon collection. It's not on display behind me, but like my original red from 30 years ago.
Ooh, that's
Like,
awesome, man.
I
That's
know.
crazy.
So
That's cool.
sign me up.
Yeah, no, I wasn't sure at first, but then I watched the trailer again after you texted me, and I'm like, okay, yeah, no, I'm definitely in. This looks too good to
You
pass
sent me
up.
the message. You're like, I'm not really that interested. I'm like, screw this guy.
Yeah, I know. It's because when they first showed it, I wasn't. It didn't have my like full attention. I don't know. I had something else. I had something else going on anyway. But yeah, no. Then I watched it again, and I was like, okay, no, yeah, no. This actually looks pretty great. So yeah, no, I think I'm day one on that. We'll see. But yeah, looks good, Kyle.
It sure does.
But think think that's all we have this week. I think we're good to go, Kyle.
Yeah. No, this has
What do you
been this
think?
has been fun. A lot of good things that we covered, from marathon to a new Xbox and a new Pokemon game.
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot of cool stuff happening.
for sure. Yeah, no, I'm excited. It's going to be a really interesting year this year. So
And speaking of Pokemon, I picked up Fire Red after the announcement,
oh
and
yeah,
I've been playing Fire Red, and it's so much fun. Like, it's a couch potato game, like it's a game that, if I'm just feeling like lazy after work, and the kids go down to bed, and I just feel like, or even when the kids are up, because they love Pokemon too, like, a game that I just feel like putting on, where it doesn't involve a lot of thinking and like, intense gameplay. It just meets that for me, and it's been a
yeah.
lot of fun getting to play it again.
I should grab it because it's only $20 and that's pretty good. So dude, I wish I had online. If I had online, we could like trade. That would have been cool. That's my only gripe about it.
Yeah, that's something that they definitely should have worked that in. I don't know why they didn't. It's not that hard. Like, they already have it in their other Pokemon games.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, I still want to get it. I'll probably pick it up here. Yeah, I guess I've just been playing marathon,
You pick that
and
up, I'll pick up Marathon, and we'll call it even.
we'll meet in the middle. Yeah,
Yeah, you meet in the middle.
yeah. I'm playing marathon, and I'm going through the Castlevania collection right now, the
Awesome.
anniversary collection. So I beat one. I'm going through two. I'm almost done with two. Two is a very different game than one. This is back on the NES when they like took risks with their sequels. And it's a different game, man. I'll tell you that. It's for better or for worse, but that's kind of my goal. But yeah, so that's kind of what I'm playing. That's what you're playing. Cool. So I think it's time, Kyle. I think it's time to sign off here.
Awesome. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. In the comments, let us know what you think of Marathon, and what you think of the new Pokemon announcement. What's going to be your starter? Do you
Yeah.
have an idea to what your starter is? Let us know.
let us know. Yeah, as Kyle said, that's going to do it for us today, for today's episode, I should say. Once again, I'm going to say this. If you're new or checking us out for the very first time, hey, consider throwing us a like, maybe subscribing. It would help us out a lot and the channel a lot. So until next time, as always, stay leveled, stay looted, and we'll catch you at the next save point. Peace.